Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Last time we did some piracy and we finally made it into the city of Neketaka, the city where we have a lot of quests going at the moment. As you can see, hopefully, the lighting should be a little bit better, and it should be running smooth. So, fix some issues, but let's not focus on that, but instead talk to some people, like, for example, Luca. We're in the tavern.
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
We're in the tavern Wild Mare, and for now my objective is to explore Neketaka a little bit more, and if we stumble upon a quest or maybe a quest that is already active, then we do that, but for now it's a little bit about exploring our surroundings.
Would cross eventually.
Valiant shouts over the din of the Wild Mare to get your attention, turning a great many heads to study your exchange. He takes a hearty swig of his tankard. Let's wink. I'll bet you say that to all of your clients.
No, you mistake me. I am not one of the courtesans. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Ak? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Ak?
Leaning in close, he sips from the tankard and loudly sucks moisture from his upper lip. Who's asking? Naya, captain of Defiant. I should call it the Defiant. Again, at your service. Who's asking?
I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for...
He clumsily unfolds a sheaf of parchment. The tankard slips in his grasp and spills ale down the front of his trousers. He gawks down at itself in horror.
Sometimes I practice my speech. Merda. Never did it go this poorly.
Yeah, let's give him an ale.
Agrasima. Do you know what my problem is, Amika?
He accepts the tankard and drinks deeply.
I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them.
He stamps his feet, kicking up a spray of spilled ale. So we already did one of those bounty hunts, I think, when we first left Port Marge.
No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Ak?
What bounties do you have available?
You will take the job? You will take the job.
He grips you by the shoulders and smiles, tears springing to the corners of his eyes.
Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then.
He drains the tankard and tucks it under his arm to retrieve his sheaf of notes.
I will start you on Meriel, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will.
Was that the one we killed?
My contact saw her leaving Port Mage and heading west of Mage Island.
Yeah. She joins the Goddess of Death in the Beyond.
My first bounty to pay off.
Nice.
An exciting day for us both.
I agree. For 1,400 copper, okay. And we had that hat for so long, by now it probably was reeking.
Maybe it's not much, but as I make more deals, more pyres will be available, Ak?
What bounties do you have available?
I finally managed to land the rights to a bounty of value. You may not like it. There is a thirsty drake who roosts near an oasis northeast of Mage Island. An important site for refilling canteens.
Did
the
we kill
local
him?
tribes call him
Yeah, we killed him.
Purakeo, after a sea
was
dragon
the-
of legend.
It was
Even
the giant
so,
dragon we killed.
They have no love for this water thief.
Nice, here's your thirsty
To
drake.
think that such a magnificent creature could also be a water-hoarding pest. Dragons are a complicated bunch.
He hefts the head of and looks deeply into the eyes before passing you the payment. 1,500 copper. And
Agrasima, my
XP.
friend. You will let me know if you are interested in more work, Ak?
Let me know. What bounties do you have available?
A marauder gang boss called Nomu broke free of custody along with the rest of his
Okay,
plunder.
don't think we have that one already.
It is said they wasted no time getting up
We're
to
just
their
carrying
old tricks.
around heads in our pockets.
Now
Just
you
normal
slipped the news
business.
again. That half-mastered bastard be three ways mad and twice that a killer. Eoyra'd be better off shot of him.
You seem familiar, friend.
Abaku shuffles through his notes before shrugging and giving up.
Prison is too kind for a pirate. So there is a bounty on Nomu's head. He and his ilk fled to the wilderness north of Neketaka.
Northwest of Neketaka, please. Before I go, I have some questions. Yeah.
Agrasima, you have but to ask.
You seem down on your luck.
It is true that I have stumbled in my career path.
Abaku clears her throat.
Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success.
He claps you on the shoulder.
It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company, it drains the stamina, my friend.
I'm still hunting Nomu the Marauder.
And I'm still scrounging together the coin for your next mission. When you have the head of our...
Okay. So, that was pretty successful. We were able to turn in 2 bounties already that we collected, or heads that we collected on our way to Neketaka. And that gives us a little bit of coin. So let's leave the inn again and look around a little bit. There was also, I think, a building of the Valiant Trading Company. So that may be something I want to explore. Yeah, let's go into this direction. Aenia? Let's talk to her. No sooner do you approach the valiant woman than she squints and turns up her nose, regarding you with thinly veiled distaste.
I only deal with serious clients. Now shoo.
She makes a sweeping gesture with both hands. Excuse me?
Done. You are dismissed.
What?
Madiko. But it is impossible to find skilled work when every competent freelancer wastes their shore leave in the wild mare.
She grimaces towards the east.
When blood travels south of their brains, the value of a good bounty is forgotten.
You give up bounties? I could take some of your hands.
You, a nameless face of the streets?
She thumbs her chin and gives you a though looking over.
I do not make a habit of shepherding new talent, but there is a seed of potential.
She sighs to herself and peers over your shoulder before giving up and addressing you directly.
We will cut your teeth on Biakara, a Huana sailor and would-be patriot who plagues company ships.
Okay, I'll take the bounty.
Gelarde! Biakara sails a voyager's scale of Tangaloa off of Hasongo's northeastern coast.
Okay.
Questions? Ask your questions, Aimika.
Why aren't more sailors accepting work?
But I blame Luminous Adra.
She folds her arms and exhales sharply through her nose.
Our privateers are busy escorting shipments out of the Deadfire. Everyone is rich, no one is hungry. Where are the Casitas willing to sink their enemies for a bag of pyres, huh? Drunk on success.
What bounties do you have available?
But Aimika, you have your quarry.
Okay.
Once you but too much.
Okay, so we have another bounty. I would assume that that bounty is a ship that we have to, or a captain we have to beat, whereas the other one is on land. What is that? You duck down into the canal and find yourself kneeling before an iron gate. The reek of sewage wafting from the other side is powerful enough to bring tears to your eyes. The iron bars are set firmly into the surrounding brick, barring any passage onward. Inspect the grate, use a pry bar, use a spell to melt the bars. Inspect it first. The iron appears solid, but exposure to the elements has worn away at surrounding brickwork. The bars extend deeper than the evident fractures, and praying the grate loose would take considerable effort. Okay. Let's look for structural weaknesses. The iron looks sturdy enough, but you are able to spot some telltale signs of corrosion between the bars and the brick. Now that the defect is apparent, the work of bending the bars would prove a less demanding challenge. Let's try that. Adair pries one of the bars loose with a quick grunt of exertion, followed by a satisfying knot. Climb through. You carefully squeeze through the openings, steeling yourself for what comes next. Partial success. In the darkness of the tunnel, you hear quiet retching. You press on with offered sympathies. As you progress through the tunnel, a change in the air pressure catches your attention. There is an opening above your head. The walls are slick and coated with waste, but you find handfuls carved in either side of a narrow passage leading up. You haul yourself out of the pit toward freedom. Out through the toilet of the Valiant Trading Company headquarters. Oh, great. Not exactly the way I wanted to visit the Valiant Trading Company headquarters, but I guess it's a way. So I guess we should probably be more in a stealthy mood here. Numerous guests appear to have carved their names into the wooden frame of the painting. Okay, I hear someone. I'm not sure if we are allowed to be here. Ooh, there's someone. But they don't care. Okay. That's okay. Actually pretty good. Means we can... Hello? Yeah, it's fine. We are supposed to be here. I guess. Benediction, okay. Clerk. Oops, what's happening here? This cabinet is full of contracts, ledgers, registries, bills of sale, and even more obscure records of Neketaka's bureaucratic underbelly. The way these are organized, there would be no point in poking around aimlessly. Someone would have to approach this archive with a goal in mind if they wanted to locate the right information. Okay, so we'll probably get a quest at some point. Oh. I see, yeah.
I'll handle this.
I mean, at this point, we might as well just run around. So far, no one wanted to kill us, which is better than what usually happens when I enter a room. A
light's foot and an heavy bullet, eye cap.
Thank you for that. Good thing nobody is guarding that.
I'll see what I can find.
A little bit of stealing. I'm embracing more and more my future
It's
as a
still
real
going on, is
pirate.
it? When will those arrogant louts decide that enough is enough?
Some oil, I'll take it. Always good to be oiled up. Never know what happens. But since we probably have to come back here anyway to get in there at some point, let's leave for now. So the quest that we have here is the main quest. We have to talk to... I forgot the name. But the other one is to go to Barath. No, to Gorn's temple.
If you want to be difficult, amico.
Kindly leave.
Yeah, I'm
If
leaving.
Luca doesn't see reason, the Duape will lose their lands. For their sake, I must...
That's enough.
Let me quickly... Veins of Aurora. Reach Kahanga Palace in the Serpent's Crown District. Okay, that is where I have to go with the main quest. Then that requires... I want a Principe sail. For that I have to go to the black market. Then we have the bounties. The Lantern of Gorn. I have to go to the Temple of Gorn. There's Friend. And then we have the bounty Kill No Move.
Good day.
Okay. Map Emporium. Let's go this direction then. A map would be nice. Akima. Does she have anything to say?
Well met, stranger. Akira, but isn't this district a fine place?
The Hana woman stares off into the distance with a longing expression. She doesn't settle on any point of particular interest. Everything from the high buildings to the cobblestones is a subject of fascination. She notices your attention and turns her eyes to the ground.
I am not one meant to venture far from the Gullet. Until recently, I had a respectable job at the Luminous Bathhouse.
Okay.
Now that I am unemployed, I seek to make myself useful before the money runs out, and I must return to the Roparu as a pauper.
She frowns and turns her gaze back up to you. Could you direct me to Kanga Palace? Tell me about the Queen, about Queen's birth.
The Queen granted this area of the city to the Valian outsiders. Here they organize their business and trade, digging up the archipelago with both hands and carrying riches overseas.
She glances towards the docks.
In her welcoming embrace, the Queen allowed a similar concession to the Royal Deadfire Company. You would do well to see as much of Neketaka while you are here, I am thinking.
So you worked at the Luminous
A
Bathhouse.
wonderful place. Would that I could cross its threshold again and feel the mist of luminous waters.
Her smile is sad, if genuine.
In spite of my time there, I cannot do else but give it my highest recommendation. You will find the Luminous Bathhouse in Periki's Overlook.
Okay. Could you direct me to Kahanga Palace?
Akira, you want to follow the road north, up the mountain, always climbing. It is the highest point in the city.
Okay, north, okay. How did you lose your job at the bathhouse?
More happens at the bathhouse than cleanliness and ease. It is a place of meetings, business, and transactions, to all of which the attendants are either blind or deaf. One day, I overheard, more than I ought to have. In my erring, I gasped. To my great shame, I showed a most unprofessional reaction before clients. I was fired, and rightly so.
She bows her head. What did you overhear in the bathhouse to cause such a scandal? Akima shakes her head and lowers it in deepest shame. She's trembling, and it's clear that, in her estimate, she has suffered enough without debasing herself even further. Okay, so there's something going on in the bathhouse. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, this is Sansa's Map Emporium. Okay. Looks like the sanctum of Doctor Strange. The window.
See this?
Oh, there's a trap. Okay. There's all kinds of stuff going. Caleb, the dog! Let's talk to the doggo. Hey, doggo. I want to talk to the doggo. Nobody lets me talk to the doggo.
Oh,
What's going on?
hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sander bounces back on his heels, a wide grin placid on his worn face.
How might I assist you?
what do you do here?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so. If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous.
Okay.
It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself, but I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
It's a nice dog.
You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sansa's face splits into a broad grin, bright enough to light the room.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
Oh. Do you sleep here?
Sometimes.
He touches a hand to his forehead and blushes scarlet from his neck to the tip of his ears.
Married to the work, you know? I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning. Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that.
I bet.
He always hogs the blankets.
He rubs the back of his neck. You said you're writing a book.
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me.
Well, I might know someone.
You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense.
Sansa folds his arms, sighing.
I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire.
Well, if
Someday.
it pays, I would take the
Do you
job.
mean it? This is... Wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
Despite his words, the gleeful expression on Sansa's face has not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you. The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, Aimika. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island?
I already did.
I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Mage. There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet. Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful.
Okay, I would assume that one of them I already found.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with a pipe in his
Not
hand.
because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean.
I couldn't go having all the fun by myself.
Well, real nice of you to share. Someday I'll have to get you a gift. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
Right? There's something accusatory behind Ada's eyes. Well, nobody forces you to follow me, Mr. Pipe Man.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Thought you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me.
It hasn't always been easy.
Well, that's why I mention it. Sometimes it's been anything but. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this?
I've got a compass.
What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I judge every situation on its own circumstances and leave feelings out of it.
Well, that's quite a feat. You gotta tell me your secrets someday.
Ida heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for a month. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Well, it is easier to worship a god when the worst traits are swept under the rug.
I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He adopts the small and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you too.
That's the finger drop and the smile
There was
fades.
no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seems longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
I mean, that's a good joke. Even Barath wants us to follow him. But let's be honest with him, we don't know.
I guess we'll see what he has in store soon enough. If we make it that far. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying, I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke. Nice, thank you. Do you want to talk to him a little bit more, though?
Back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope. How might I assist you?
Show me what you have for sale.
Certainly. It would be my pleasure. Of course, it's mostly books and knickknacks. Maps I do on commission, you see.
Okay. Adventurous Grimoire, Snakeskin Grimoire. Okay. Cobra Strike. I mean, it sounds awesome. Some books, some lockpicks. Might be useful to have some extra lockpicks. Spyglass. Whether being used to scout the shadows or determine friend from foe, spyglasses see common use throughout the Deadfire, where the magnification of a distant object can spell the difference between survival and a sunken ship. Often to view objects from land while on your ship, while also providing special options during many encounters in the world. Oh, I like options for encounters, but that spyglass is something expensive. Oh, a free Diary of an Unnamed Pirate. I'll buy that. It's for free. We have to buy it. Except from the Diary of an Unnamed Pirate about the lost vessel Fisher Queen. The sea is every inch Ondra's blood, every inch her tears, and though it be a mirror's breath what moves us through it, it's only by Ondra's will we don't drown in her holy viscera. Caught her wrath at your peril, cause she don't know the meaning of mercy. An old-timer told me that on my first time out of port, and that crusty bastard never knew when to quit flapping him gums, so I never believed a word he said. I never saw the goddess herself rise up out of the depth and put her watery hand to a vessel. The winds and waves, those were earthly threats. The gods got better shit to do than torment us. 'Cause that was all for I started shipping aboard the Fisher Queen. Wreck of a man found me in the mare in Neketaka, one eye, scars all up and down his face, a real pirate's pirate. Sidled up to me at the bar like we were old friends. Look like you know your way about some rigging, he said. Thought he was trying to pick me up at first, and I nearly let him do it. Instead, he laughed. Got my eye on some special game, he said, and we're going to need the best there is to bring it down. Now, I don't give two half shits about prestige. Pump up my ego all you want. What kind of coin you offering? Well, he was offering good coin indeed, so I went with him. Dumb fucking thing to do, but what did I know? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. That's clear as the morning to me now. We were hunting maidens, maiden flesh really. Wasn't a delicacy nowhere, but my new friend, the one-eyed sailor, was aiming to make it one. Start a craze, cash in, buy a nice little island out from under the locals, and spent his remaining days laid out on a back sand beach with a jug of palm wine in the crook of one arm and a ready lover in the other. Now, you hear stories about those beasts. We all hear stories. Sailors lured to their death by the Maiden of the Death and her handmaidens, unable to resist the beauty of their mournful song. Sounds like bullshit, doesn't it? We found a pack out near the Ophetia Channel hunting tuna. They had to look of handsome ladies from a distance, tails long as a stormy night and slick as a salt-drenched deck, hair like seaweed with wide, comely smiles. So we netted a few and dragged them on deck. It wasn't even hard. It was like they wanted to be caught. They've hissed and screamed as we readied our knives, and too soon we realized our mistake. We discovered the rows of serrated shark's teeth and unhinged jaws when one of them swallowed Yarrick whole, and we learned too late about the poisoned barbs on their hips when Gabriel wrapped with a pair and started vomiting up chunks of congealed black blood. And the glitter in their scleraless eyes, dark blue and deep as Andra's own void, I came to know when one took my right arm clean off at the elbow. As if that wasn't grim enough, that night the Lady of Lemon got her revenge on the Fisher Queen for our transgression. We lost our mainmast, all our fresh water, and 4 men overboard in a storm, the likes of which I haven't seen. We drifted for a week before a valiant merchant ship found us, and the great irony of it all was the maidens tasted like shit. Interesting little story. Sound not so pleasant, those ladies. Should keep an eye out for them. Now let's explore a little bit more. Right next to the building was...
All right. Which one of us am I thinking of now?
You be thinking of the Watcher.
That's 10 in a row. That's some talent you got.
Aye, the talent of noticing who you be glancing at before you ask me who you be thinking of.
Is he looking at my butt? Is Adair looking at my butt? Let's go into the luminous Ardra mill and hide our butts. So we know that Eothas is after the luminous Ardra. So I would assume this mill will play a role somehow or another. Cortina. Hi. Cortina's voice finds you before she does, her barks of laughter and cheerful directives resounding throughout the mill. She flirts from worker to worker, offering critique and approval. When she finally spots you, a shadow of apprehension passes over her face. She hides it with a toothy grin.
If you are here about the taxes, tell the Queen... Oh, you are not the tax collector.
She narrows her eyes, her hand twitching at the hilt of her blade.
What business brings you to my mill?
Who are you?
Okay.
Cortina leans in close, one prodigiously furry eyebrow raised.
You go around asking just anyone in Queensbirth personal questions, maybe you end up dead in a ditch. Have caution, eh? Lucky for you, I am a woman of honor.
She gives you a sunny smile and claps her hands together.
I direct luminous milling for the Valian Trading Company. It's a nice job, eh? And I'm quite good at it. You want to know more? Buy me a drink first, per guano.
Cortina claps you on the shoulder, a playful smile on her lips. What do you do here? Cortina looks about the room with exaggerated wonder, her green eyes wide. She laughs a little to herself and runs a finger across the arm of the chair beside her. She holds the finger up for your inspection. It's caked in shimmering blue dust.
Luminous, of course. Take big chunks, break into smaller chunks, crush into dust-sized chunks. Per complancanet, it is really not so complicated.
Yeah, doesn't sound that complicated.
Good day.
Okay, maybe we can't do something here just now. A rooftop balcony? Is there a rooftop party going on? Let's check it out. As I mentioned last episode, I do want to explore the city a little bit further, a little more in depth. I won't go through it for hours and hours and hours, but I want to check the main spots at least and see if we stumble upon something. There's a wet dog. Oh no, the wet doggo. Abraham, we have a doggo now. That's the best. See, that is why I explore. Reduces recovery penalty for armor, varies by armor type. Grants pet. That's pretty good. And we have a doggo. Looks like a little golden retriever. Look at him. Isn't he cute? Oh, I'm happy. We have a doggo. Everything will be fine. And we're carrying around a small zoo. But that's fine too. Okay. Now I will have to have a look on the map and see. I think we will leave this area for now and see if we can get into another part of town. If so, into which part of town? That is the question. So obviously here's more. There's the Bardato estate, whatever that is. The road north. Rubero's fine fashion. Valera estate. Osa's famous fish, hunting and sundries. And there's the shipwright. Don't we want to check that out as well? Maybe we can get like a giant ship with 1,000 cannons at the very least. Maybe not.
Handle this.
Because it's probably also expensive. But I have high hopes. Some blood moss, okay. We will leave this area for now and explore different part of Neketaka.
You must gather your...
Okay, there's the Brass Citadel, Sacred Stair, the Gullet, Periki's Overlook. Okay. The Gullet may be where the black market is. So let's go there. And just as a reminder, we want to go to the black market to get a sale of the Principe to then get more or less safely into what was the name? I'm bad with names. To the place that Seraphim has to go. There are so many names floating around in this world, it always takes me a while to get used to it. You leave the bustle of the crowds behind, making your way along the winding path into the Gullet. For a time, the path ascends the mountain. Even so, the cramped walls and run-down Huana buildings close in around you, obscuring the view. You come to a dark passage cutting through the mountain, just wide enough to accommodate a wagon. The path here descends steadily into the rock face. After a lengthy journey through the dimly lit tunnel, you come to the gates of the Gullet. The stench hits you first, a foul mixture of rot, stale air, and bodily odors. You notice a guardsman pushing a cart heaping high with moldering food, which must account for some of that smell. Ahead, the homes of the Gullets emerge as a collection of lights and amid the darkness. You hear the rush of water below, and a frigid breeze wafts up from the unseen depths like an exhalation. Nice, that sounds pleasant. Or at least basically as pleasant as my room, so there's not much different.
Surely you've a scrap to spare.
A gaunt Roparu woman grabs for your leg. She paws at you with a weak grip, fingers bone-thin and trembling.
Mercy, traveler. Never have I been so hungry.
You have no access to food.
Always there is prize share. The pile has grown leaner these years. Little falls to our pile that is not rotten or sour from this week and maybe before.
What do you mean? She shakes her head.
Forgive me, I say too much. If you would know more, ask Inoi. Our elder listens to those in need, and he speaks out of earshot of the guards.
I see.
He's there, in the house to the right when you cross the bridge. He can speak of the hunger.
Who's the leader around here? She chuckles starkly.
The Gullet is a lawless place, forgotten. The only authority here is the Matarus, and they don't work on our behalf. But if it is a wise man you want, seek Inoi in his home. He tries to keep us safe and fed. He does not always succeed, but he does try. Trying's worth a lot down
Let's
here.
give her some food. The woman snatches the food from her hands with surprising speed, eyes darting a glance from any onlookers before she shoves it between her teeth. She gnaws desperately, swallows, chokes, chews again, and speaks through the mouth half full from the next bite.
Thank you. I'll share it, I swear. Thank you, traveler.
Okay. That's our good deed for the day. There we have the refuse pile, the Narrows, Noise home, Thalis home, Piddly sanctuary, Old city lift, Bihar's home, Neketaka, the hole. Let's go to the Narrows. That name rings a bell, or at least I think it does. Sweet incense masks the odor of the offering, rotten fruit and spoiled fish. Let's go in here. You enter a dim alleyway that reeks of urine and torch smoke. A long passage stretches to your left and right. Shadows move in the guttering torchlight, but there are nothing more than shapes at this distance. The chatter and bustle of the gullet continues behind you. Ooh. Go always to the right. You trudge along the darkened passage and reach an intersection. The tunnel branches off to the right. You hear the distant murmur of voices down the darkened path, but see no one. Go forward. On your left is an abandoned merchant stall displaying cheap jewelry. The path continues ahead. Inspect the merchant's stall. Streetwise and perception. Oh, it's only I? Ooh. Failure! Laid out are various trinkets made from junk necklaces strung with fish bones and shoe buckles, and bracelets made with shards of broken glass. Apparently this stuff isn't worth selling. Okay. Go forward. The tunnel opens to your right. Rats squeak and skitter away at your approach. The way before you corkscrews into darkness. Go to the right. The stone floor is littered with fish bones and bread crusts and stamped with footprints in all shapes and sizes. Voices echo down the passage ahead of you. Okay, the passage opened into a large cavern. Below you, ramshackle buildings crowd together like broken teeth. A maze of streets winds between them, some barely wide enough for two to pass abreast. And yet, throngs of people fill the narrow streets and tiny plazas, their voices rising with the smoke of hundreds of torches. explore the neighborhood. You pick your way down the worn, uneven stairs and descend into the hubbub below. Huana men, women, and children surround you, all laughing, haggling, and quarreling over one another. You notice a few foreign faces, Valian adherents, and even a few Rotanians slipping through the crowd. A heady mixture of frying fish, unwashed bodies, and accumulated refuse permeates the air. You come across a Roparu man and woman sitting on a rooftop, watching the activity below. They're passing a pipe back and forth and talking quietly. He gnaws the end of the pipe nervously. My neighbor disappears near the undercroft weeks ago. She shrugs. Always smugglers and pirates lurking here. Some of them turn to slaving. He nods, taking a puff. That's for what I stay away from Dalva's Row. Plenty of bad sorts there. What's Dalva's Row? Somewhere beneath the Gullet is loosely confederated of thugs. Okay. She holds her hand out for the pipe. Kara, but they are the only sorts who pay. They lapse into silence, smoking peacefully. Continue exploring the neighborhood. Oh boy. You come across a corner where a pair of thugs, a man and a woman, have surrounded Huana men. He has pot belly and a nervous expression, and he's backed himself as far into the corner as he can. The thugs advance. It's an exchange. You pay us. We don't hurt you. Well, let's try it with that. This isn't worth it. How much are you really going to make off a few poor Roparu? The thugs consider your words a nod. She's right. Let's head to the surface. Plenty of money floating around the bathhouse. Joanna's man thanks you and nervously scurries off. Okay. You come across a Roparu man and woman sitting on the rooftop. We have that. You thought more about the offer? She scrapes a pattern in the grid. Sneaking luminous dust from the Principe, man. Better than pushing Rotani cannons, I say. He blows a long stream of smoke through his nose. My cousin went to muscle for him. Says he pays well and pays fast. She picks dirt from under her nails. Best work in the Gullet. As long as Mataru and their trader friends don't notice. They lapse into silence, smoking peacefully. Nothing of relevance catches your attention this time. You pass a busy stall where a man serves murk brew in chipped shells. A rich, nutty aroma rises on plumes of steam. You hear a gasp of surprise behind you and see a small group of people huddled together, chattering. Listen in. An elderly man shakes his head. Any with eyes can see they do not build ports for our sake, yet the Queen allows their fort in the city. The one next to him clucks. Kara, the place is so high. Even her head is in the clouds. Another man shrugs. At least the Rotanians will drive the other foreigners away. They will make too much trouble for the other tribes. Then they flee and crowd us here. The others murmur in agreement. Continue. You come across a Roparu man, a woman sitting on a rooftop. Again, lots of people sitting on a rooftop. Found half a silverfin in the heap yesterday, still with the hat. He shakes his hand. Amir, winds blows sweet from you. She sighs, wreathing her hat in smoke. No winds down here. You got to dig. Always the good stuff gets buried by the scraps. You find yourself in the middle of a shop-lined street, packed shoulder on shoulder with the people around you. You can barely move. Success! But you know how pickpockets operate. You keep your hands over your valuables as a passerby brushes against you. You feel a hand reach for your purse. You grab its wrist and pull the thief toward you. Before you is a Huana child. Her eyes are wide with terror. Teach the child better technique. Let's do it. Or steal the child's money. How evil is that? Let's teach him. She's worried at first, but she slowly draws closer as she watches your quick practice movements. With your encouragement, she mimics your deft maneuvers. She does quite well. She thanks you with mischievous smile and turns to go. Nothing of relevance catches your attention this time. A rich man, okay, that we had as well. Okay, I think we might be behind you. Okay. Go to the left. Probably still not, yeah. Turn around. Go forward. Many bodies. Go left. Through the tunnel bronze into an access. Through the passage you hear the tumult of the Gullet, the shouting, wailing laughter of 100 Roparu. The stings of garbage wafts towards you. Oh. I feel like there's more to find in there. But let's look around a little bit. Into the other direction. Half-eaten food scraps litter the pile. A rancid stench rises from it. So that is basically where they get all their food. It's the leftovers, I guess, from the rest of the city. Looks a little bit nicer here.
They took him. For what? Bataro's the second this month.
Bataro.
And they say the pittings aren't increasing. Do they lie to themselves or just to us? At this rate, who'll be left to suffer the Mataru's ire?
Let's talk to this Inoi. Okay. An elderly Roparu man squints in your direction before blinking profusely. He hobbles closer, bare feet slapping the splintered floorboards of his abode.
What say you, girl?
He peers steadily into your face, blinking faster all the while. The man's arms are thin as sticks. What teeth he has are yellowed or black from years of malnourishment. Can you see me? How do you know who I am?
I see much and many things. I simply do not look with these eyes in the same manner that others do. I have heard much as well. Footsteps like distant thunder. The wind whispers of a watcher who chases Aethys.
Who would that be?
I also hear the Roparu's heartbeat, grown thready and pained. Now a watcher comes to the Gullet, as Amira has shown me you would.
Actually, a starving beggar sent me to speak to you. His lids half close, heavy with thought.
The Roparu are being crushed from the top. We starve so slowly, it is an agony.
No one deserves to suffer. Not like this.
The old man shrugs.
This is the Juana way. The fish of our nets are drawn for the tribe. The fruit of our fields, too, is reaped for the tribe. And the coin of our pockets belongs not to one, but to all. All spoils are gifted to the whole of the tribe. The tribe then partakes from the top down, from the most deserving to the least.
Why are the least deserving the last to partake of the tribe's spoils?
The Mataru risk their lives to protect the tribe. The Kwaru provided skilled goods and services. The tribe takes care of the Raparu more than we contribute to the tribe. Or it did, before our numbers swelled too large. The Dawn Stars would feed us, but the guards forbid them to pervert the order of sharing. There was a man who helped us, a soft-hearted pirate named Ulug. He worked with the Principe captain, Mad Morena, they call her, to bring us food from the black market.
Okay, tell me more about the black market.
But for days now, we've had nothing.
What happened?
Ulug was never late with his shipments. Always very conscientious. A good boy. For him to disappear for several days without word, he must be dead. The Queen refuses to increase our share of the prize share. Without Ulug's shipments, we will surely starve. I am asking you, what else can we do?
Tell me about Dalva's Row. I consider helping.
If you do not know your way to the row, someone at the hole may be able to help you.
The hole. I may be able to See, here's the thing. I'm not sure if it really makes sense to talk to the royal, so maybe just re-establishing the smuggling operation.
The starving sated and the pirates paid. Everyone's grins and giggles. Savvy play, Cap, worthy of Romaro himself.
Thank you, Seraphim.
Long as it doesn't end up going wrong for the same reasons.
He strokes the end of his chin.
You must find Delver's Row, girl. They hide a lift that will take you down to where the pirates play. Surely you will find Ulug's contact there.
Okay.
If you do not know your way to the row, someone at the hole may be able to help you.
Okay.
Follow the path that Ulug first walked for us.
Who exactly are you?
Do not meet his same end.
Oh,
I've
I
lived
won't.
for many years in this gullet. My skin and bones have withered with each year, twisted harder, so that the Raparu now call me Taki Takiri. Though you can see, I am not very big or much sturdy. If a dispute arises within the gullet, I will see it resolved. That I can promise you.
Tell me about the Gullet. What's the history of this
Both
place?
time and tragedy have rotted the gullet into a place of filth and crowdedness. Once, we Raparu lived in a fine neck of the city. But that time has fallen, and with it, the ruins of our old city under Neketaka. Long before the foreigners swarmed us, a sea quake rumbled our city, and the mountain cratered down. Many cried to Andra, and were swallowed for their efforts. Now the Mataru send us into the ruins of the old city to be punished. Within that pit lies darkness and death. not silence, but an end.
Okay. So we need to talk to someone in the hole that can bring us to the, or lead us to the black market. Give us instructions how to get there. Where's the hole? Oh, the hole's probably like something like a tavern, right? But we will leave it off here today. Thank you all for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had fun with this episode, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more content, consider subscribing to the channel. I will be back with more Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire very soon. Until then, have a great time.